Number of years ago, I worked with a colleague who told me the story about when she introduced the idea of how power works to a group of year nines on the last lesson of a Friday afternoon. Now, we all know this is a challenging time in which to be teaching because for a lot of people, they've checked out and they're already on the weekend. Now, this particular educator was what I would regard as an expert pedagogue. And what she saw here was that if she was going to go down a very theoretical road here and talk about power over and power with and asymmetrical power and how some people are subjugated and marginalized and how some people aren't able to use their influence and other people do, she said all of these are important things, but I don't think it's actually going to work on a Friday afternoon last lesson with the group that I'm going to work with. So here's what she did. She arranged for the school principal, unbeknownst to all of her class, to come to her class that afternoon, to knock on the door and to quite sternly ask her to please step outside of the classroom. When she stepped outside of the classroom, she knew that all of her class would be watching and listening. Now, this was already planned, and the school principal then berated her at length for about 5 minutes. She then came back into the classroom. She sat very quietly at her desk and she noticed that the entire class was silent. They had just witnessed something that made them feel deeply uncomfortable. Some of the students then started to murmur about, "Miss, this is not right. You weren't treated well in that moment. We've got to stand up to this because this shouldn't be how things operate here." And that was her introduction into a whole unit about how power works. And this is what great pedagogues do.